What's up guys, Justin Kaplan Pro here, your startup business mentor and branding strategist. I have a fun video for you today. We're going to talk about video editing. I'm going to be sharing with you today what I believe is the best video editor for your YouTube channel. Now, I've used a tremendous amount of video editing technologies over the years, but I have found one that I believe is not only the best, but it's also the most user-friendly, which is why I love it, because I can share it with my clients and teach you some great techniques to really produce some high-quality video content without a tremendous amount of tech skills, nor with a lot of work or a lot of time put into it. All right, so I'm going to walk you through all the things. I'm going to hook you up with my exact process for how I take a raw video, cut it, trim it, add the sizzle to it, and come out with a beautifully published ready video to put on my YouTube channel. I'm gonna hook you guys up with some awesome tips and hacks too, like how to add animated subscribe buttons that show really well on your YouTube video, how to add cool animations down below that can tell your audience to comment below, or you have a link in the description. Whatever it is you're looking to do, there's so many different ways. You can add imagery, you can do things with video editing that will just absolutely blow your mind because they're just that awesome. You can do overlays with images, you can do overlays with video, or you can just do some really cool, simple midstream cuts that bring me into the camera and make me really exciting to watch. And then you can do fun things like this, and you can bring me back out. Additionally, you can do all these awesome things that come across the screen like this, where I'm gonna highlight my key points of the day. I'm also gonna show you how to put this fade over the screen so that I can keep talking to you while I'm showing you notes on the screen and make it super easy to read. And then I just transition right back out of it, all right? So video editing is a lot of fun. Obviously, I like to have a lot of fun with video editing, but really when it gets down to it, I wanna help you make some great videos that really stand out on your channel, because really growing a great YouTube channel is not just about sharing great content, but also creating engaging videos that your audience actually wants to watch, all right? So I'm gonna walk you through all those steps. I'm also gonna hook you up at the end of this video with a whole bunch of free overlays and things that you can use to really dress up your videos, but this is the best video technology that I've ever seen. I'm super excited about it. I've been doing video editing and video creation for nearly 5 years at this point, guys, and I just found this new program 2 months ago, and I am blown away by the options that this thing has and the ability that I have to produce some really good video. All right, so let's dive into this thing, guys. If you're excited about this content, go ahead and smash that like button. Certainly subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and be sure to drop me some comments down below along the way. I love your comments, I love your interaction, and I also love questions. So if you have questions, be sure to drop those in the comments. All right, let's dive right in and get to my video editor. Okay, to get this awesome technology, you're going to want to go to jcvideoeditor.com. If you are a Windows user, you can come in here and download right there for free. If you are a Mac user, scroll down just a little bit and you'll see this button right here that says I am a Mac user, and you can download this for your Mac if you are on a Mac. All right, guys, so you got Movavi downloaded. This is what you should see when you first open up the program. The first thing I like to do is I like to click on File, click on Save Project As. I'm immediately going to create a save file so I can save frequently as I go along. So I'm just going to basically walk you through step by step through how I go about creating a video. One of the things that I've already done to get myself started is I've already created a custom thumbnail for this video that I'm doing today. So I'm going to go up here to File, Import. I'm going to click on Add Files, and this is how you're going to add your image or your video files. So I'm going to go into my YouTube videos. I am going to click on the file that I'm using today, and there's the thumbnail that I'm going to use, and that's going to drop it right up here in my media bin. Once I have something in my media bin that I actually want to include in my edit, I'm just going to take this and drag it right down there, and now I've got a start of my video. And this automatically, when it loads up, if I double click on that, it starts that at 4 seconds. I'm actually going to change that to 6, because it aligns with the music that I'm going to put in here, which I'm also going to explain to you. So if I was to bring this bar right back to the beginning here and click play, that's automatically going to start my video, and I have 6 seconds of video already. So very easy. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add in my raw video file. So at this point in time, you should have already recorded your video, and I'm bringing in a raw video file that I'm going to work with and I'm going to edit from. So again, I'm going to hit on File, Import. I'm going to hit on Add Files. And then what I usually do when I record my videos, sometimes I have breaks in my videos, so I tend to record them in segments. So you'll see on my desktop here, I have a segment 1 and I have a segment 2. I'm going to throw segment 1 in here because that's the start of my video, and that's how I define how I get myself started. So this is a raw video file. It's a few minutes long. I'm going to take this and drop this down in there, and you can see that it just automatically places it right at the end of that image. It'll take a second when you first throw these in here before the audio bars stand up, but eventually the audio bars will show up, which you can see that those audio bars actually showed up down there. So I'm just gonna zoom in down here. I'm just gonna click this little zoom button so I can get a better look at what I'm working with here. And then what I'm doing right now is I'm just rolling the roller on my mouse, and that's how I can scroll through the video real easily. Another just quick keyboard reference that's gonna make your life really easy is that instead of coming up here and pressing the pause and play button all the time, if you just hit your space bar, that will start your video, and then you can space to stop it as well. Very easy. All right, so again, as you can see, this is a raw video, so this is how I started out my video. Obviously I don't want to have that blank spot in there, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring my slider right to the beginning of my audio right there, and I'm going to click until the video is highlighted yellow, and then I'm just going to hit that little clip button right there, and then I can click on this segment, and I'm pressing the delete key on my keyboard, so I'm deleting that segment. So now I can go from my thumbnail right into my video. Okay, the other thing that I can do too is if I want to have more of a seamless transition, if I don't want that to be quite so harsh going in there, I can add what they call a transition. So if you come up here to the left side, you're going to see this little thing called transitions, and you got all these different options of transitions that you can work with. You know, you got a variety of different things that you can do to get real fancy with your videos. For the sake of mine, I'm just going to do something real simple, and I'm just going to click on a basic crossfade, which I'm going to come in here and drop that there, and it's automatic. Now I do notice when I do this, I don't like how particularly slow that fade is, so I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to double click on that fade, and that's a 2-second fade. I'm just going to hit that minus sign right there and drop that down to a 1 second, and that makes it a nice clean fade into my video. All right, just so you know as well, I've come over here and clicked on this little mute button, and I've brought my volume down, so as I'm doing these edits, it's not going to disrupt you hearing that audio behind me. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, and you're going to hear me do this, is I'm going to go through and I'm going to listen to my video, and I'm going to cut and trim some things where I want to cut and trim them. It's very simple, and this is usually where I start, is I start with that raw video and I just work through the audio. And the cool thing about this video editor is you can really clean up your words as you go along. So you might say or you might cough, or you might do something like, yeah, I really don't want that in my video. It's super easy to clip that out. So I'm going to bring my audio back up, and I'm going to go to the beginning of my video here, and let me just listen through for a second. Captain Pro here, your startup business mentor and branding strategist. I have a fun broadcast for you today. We're going to talk about and right there is about the time where I forgot what my broadcast title was for the day. So what I did is I just paused for a second and I started over. So if I start right here, what's up guys, Justin Captain Pro here. I started right over. So I'm going to go right there, and I'm going to click on this and get rid of that segment. So now I've got my good clean segment that I'm starting from. What's up guys, Justin Captain Pro here, your startup business mentor and branding strategist. I have a fun video for you today. We're going to talk about video editing. I'm going to be sharing with you today what I believe is the best video editor for your YouTube channel. Produce some high quality video content with not a tremendous amount of tech skill. See right there. So that's what I'm looking for right there, is I'm looking for any spot where I stutter or say something that I don't want to say. So let me listen to it again. This amount of tech skill. So basically right there, and right there, I say tech skills twice. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to clip right before that one, and I'm going to clip right before that one, and I'm just going to click that segment in the middle, and I'm going to delete it. So now that should flow nicely. With not a tremendous amount of tech skill. It looks like I got a gap here. I must have said something else wrong. So let me listen to it again. Tremendous amount of tech skill. Without a tremendous amount of. So I want to start without right there. I'm gonna go back to find without. Content with not a tremendous amount of. Right there. I'm gonna clip that. I'm gonna clip that. So now it should flow nicely. Quality video content without a tremendous amount of tech skills, nor with a. Just like that. So obviously this is a bit of a process for me to work through this video, so I'm not going to bore you by walking through the editing in this entire video. The other thing that I want to note real quick too, as I go through these edits, you're going to see me put some little flags throughout my video. So anytime I work through my video and I see a specific spot that I want to note, either a call out or a key point or do some sort of an animation, if I double click on this video, I'll click this little flag marker and it'll put a flag up here for me, so then I can type subscribe animation, so then I can remember what I need to put there, and that'll note that I'm going to put a transition or a call out right there. Right, so you're going to see me place some flags as I go along, and that's what I'll be doing. Let me clean this up real quick. I'll get back to you in just a second when I'm ready to do some of the fun stuff. Alright guys, so I've gone through editing all the audio of my video, got all the clips cleaned up, and now I'm going to go through and just work through each of these flags that I've set and just show you how you can do some of these cool overlays and cool animations. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually animated overlays that tell your audience to do something. So in this flag I've got up here my subscribe animations. So this is where you saw when you first started this video that I showed two different animations on the screen to like and subscribe the video. The cool thing is I'm going to hook you guys up with these same animations that you can download from my website and use these in your own video for free. So everything that I show you how to do today, I'm also going to give you the free files to use these for yourself. All right, so let me show you how you put these in here. I'm going to hit on File, Import, and then I'm going to hit on Add Files. That's going to take me to my folder where I have these animations. I'm going to give you an overlay that says let me know in the comments. I'm going to give you two different like and subscribe overlays, and then I'm giving you another overlay which is called link and description, and I'll show you what that looks like in just a little bit. All right, so I'm going to hit the smash that button overlay first, and I'm gonna click open. Now what I want to do is I want to find the point in this video where I'm going to hold my hands up and show you these two different animations, because I want to know exactly where I want those overlays to sit. So I'm going to throw another flag out there just so I can see where that is. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on that overlay and I'm going to drag it down here to the video. It brings the smash the button, hits the like, and hit the subscribe as well as the notification bar. It's a great animation. All that design is pre-built in there. All you got to do is throw it in your video, which is spectacular. So I want to drag this over and have this show up where my hands show up. And then what I want to do so I can place it correctly is I want to bring the slider bar out into the middle of the video transition so I can see the full transition and all the graphics that are included with it, because if I go back here, I don't see the whole thing, right? So I want to make sure that I see the whole transition. So I'm going to right click on this transition and I'm going to go to Tools and then I'm going to go to Overlay. And what that does is that gives me the option now to resize this and move it around. So I'm going to put one of these right up here just like that, okay? Now the other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and put my other button in. So I'm going to hit my plus sign, File, Import, Add Files, and I'm going to add my other overlay button, Open. And that's going to bring this one up. Now I'm going to bring this one up. I'm going to put it right underneath the other one. So I've got the two of those together, all right? Now same thing. I want to be able to drag this and get this thing placed just right so I can see where this is going to start up. And then I also want to get these to be about the same size. So again, I'm going to right click, Tools, Overlay, and I'm going to size this thing down so it fits about the same size as the other one, because I'd like them to look similar. And then I'm going to take this one and place that right over there, something like that. Okay, so now if I show you what this looks like, let me bring the audio up so you can see what this looks like, because you already saw this on the video in the beginning. Up with some awesome tips and hacks too, like how to add animated subscribe buttons that show really well on your YouTube video. That's pretty cool, right? Now I got this other transition and you can see that I got a flag here, which is where I show bottom animations, and these are kind of cropping into my next segment, so I don't necessarily want that to happen. So I'm going to right click on this one and I'm going to clip that and click the end of that off, and then same with this one. I want to clip that one off and take the end of that one off so I can move into my next transition. Now, if I don't want those things to do a hard cutoff, I can also do a fade out of those. So I can have those kind of fade off screen. So to do a simple little fade on these transitions, I'm going to right click, I'm going to Tools, and I'm going to do Animations. And then I've got a variety of different ways that I can animate these. So you can do squiggles, you can do all kinds of different stuff on screen. I tend to like to err on the side of simple and clean. So I'm just going to do a simple fade out, real easy. I'm just going to grab this fade out and I'm going to bring it right down there, and it just attaches itself to both of those animations. Same with this one. I'm going to do a fade out on that one as well. And now those are going to real clean fade off the screen. Okay, so that's those two, real easy. Now as I go into this one, which I'm talking about bottom animations, let me play my video real quick. Video, how to add cool animations down below that can tell your audience to comment below, or you have a link in the... All right, so I'm doing comment below first. All right, so I'm going to add my comment below. Same thing, File, Import, Add Files. And I want to do let me know in the comments. And I'm going to bring this one down right there. So let's see how this one lines up with my audio. Video, how to add cool animations down below that can tell your audience to comment below, or you have a link in the description, whatever. So I like where that one ends. Let me go back and add my other one in here, which is link in the description. And I'm going to throw that one right after that one. So those two should line up. And let's see how long these go together. So I'm going to play the whole segment. how to add cool animations down below that can tell your audience to comment below, or you have a link in the description. Whatever it is you're looking to do, there's so many different ways. You can add imagery. You can do things with video editing that will just absolutely blow your mind. All right, so this is a good spot, and I'm going to show you how to do something cool like this. All right, so I've already taken a video clip of this segment and saved it separately. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this video in here. And I'm going to bring this out and I'm going to put it over top of this other video, right? So this is actually a video on top of the other video. I'm going to drag this audio bar right here and I'm going to bring the audio bar down to 0. And then what I do is I want to find the spot in this video where I actually make the motion of blowing your mind, which is right there. So I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to clip this and then I'm going to take this little segment out. And then I'm going to bring this over, and then what I want to do is I want to find the spot in the video here where I do the same thing and say blow your mind. So I'm going to do right there. I'm going to clip this to get rid of that little piece. Then I'm going to bring this video over and put it right up to it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make this slow motion. I'm going to drop this down to like 25% speed, and let's see what this looks like. That will just absolutely blow your mind because they're just that awesome. You see how that looks? That's pretty cool, right? Absolutely blow your mind because they're just that awesome. So you can play around with all kinds of different things. That's just a different way that you can actually put a slow motion video on top of your regular video, so your voice keeps flowing with your content, but the slow motion appears on screen and changes the visual a little bit. Okay, so let's keep going. In this next segment I talk about you can do overlays with images, you can do overlays with video. So all I'm going to do real quick is I'm just going to throw a couple of different media files just showing where my hands are. So let me see where my hands start right there. So I'm going to throw an image in here. Let me just throw my thumbnail out here. And again, I can change the size of this. So I can do something like that. And then I talk about overlay with video. So right there, I need to throw a video on top of it. I'm going to do a file import, and I'm just going to do something like my countdown video and throw that in there. Right there. Let me get the hand motion lined up so I know where I want to place it, which will be right there. If for some reason you ever click off of one of these and it takes up that whole screen, the way you get back to be able to change the size of that again is right click, tools, and then you do overlay, and that brings up those points where you can change the size. So I'm going to make the size the exact same size as this other image so it looks congruent on screen. And then I'm going to throw that right over there. And let me see what this looks like. With images, you can do overlays with video, or you can just give me a quick little video. So I'm going to crop that. I'm going to clip that out and just take the rest of that countdown out. And then same with this one. I'm going to bring this down so it matches. So again, just to recap that simple little spot, let me click play and see what we just created. Just absolutely blow your mind because they're just that awesome. You can do overlays with images, you can do overlays with video. Looks solid, right? So now I'm just going to show you a real simple one that I use all the time and just creates a nice little animation in the video, and it's called a midstream cut. So let me show you what this looks like. Or you can just do some really cool, simple midstream cuts that bring me into the camera. So right there, I'm just doing bring me into the camera. So all I'm doing in this spot is I'm just going to click on that actual video segment, and I'm actually going to come over here to this crop piece. And then I'm just going to actually just crop the video down a little bit. And then once I crop it, I'm going to bring it back to center and crop myself into the camera. You hit apply and it basically zooms me in. So then if you watch that, it just ends up becoming a nice little scene transition that's subtle, but it's impactful. Stream cuts that bring me into the camera and make me really, really exciting to watch. Now you can do fun things like this, and you can bring me back. So all I did right there where I clapped is I just cut the end of that clip at the clap, and that took me back to a regular screen size, right? So kind of fun, cool way to play around with some edits. In this next tag, I'm going to highlight my key points and show you how you can do text overlays on screen. So what's cool about these is you can come over here to this text button and you're going to see all these different options for types of things that you can add. And if you click on them, it'll give you a little bit of a look and show you what's going to be on the screen. And these are all pre-created. So these will do all these different features on screen. And then all you got to do is just edit your text. So the one that you've probably seen me use before is this circle one. I use this all the time because I think it's just a nice, clean, kind of modern look, highlights my key points. So basically what's cool is once you create one one of these for yourself, you can actually save it as a favorite. So in my titles now, I have my favorites saved. So every time I edit a video, I don't have to recreate all these animations. They're already in here and ready to go. So then once I have that done, I can just take this and drag it right over, put it in that spot, and that's my key point of the day. So then I can say this is my highlight, and this is my favorite key point. And then if I want to center that, I can click on that, and then I'm going to drag that down and center those on my circle. So then when I play that, I've got a nice call out that highlights whatever key point I'm talking about, but it's a nice blend to the video without taking me completely off screen. So obviously, as you can see, it's a little bit light on my bright background, and so I talk about doing a fade in my next piece of the video. So this is where I'm going to show you how to do a fade over the screen, which is going to actually darken me up a little bit, make my point call out, but it keeps me talking so you can still see me. So how to do that is I come over here and click on symbols, and I got all these different symbols, and all I do is I take a general rectangle and I throw this right underneath of my key point. I stretch it out to fit the length of my key point, and then what I do is I double click on that, allows me to move this thing around, and then I just stretch this thing down to fill up the entire screen. Yellow is always the generic color. I'm going to come over here and click on color. I'm going to change it to black, and then I'm going to change the opacity to 65%. Now that puts a nice dark fade over my screen, but you can still see me, but it highlights my key point and makes it stand it out more. Then when I do this hand motion, I'm actually going to start this rectangle right at that hand motion, so it looks like I actually pull that hand motion across the screen. So I'm going to do a right click on this, tools, animations, which brings me to this over here. Then I'm going to do a fade in. And then I believe I have a clap at the end of this, which removes it, so I want that to be a hard cutoff. So let's just see what this looks like. Screen like this, where I'm going to highlight my key points of the day. I'm also going to show you how to put this fade over the screen so that I can keep talking to you while I'm showing you notes on the screen and make it super, super easy to read. And then I just transition right back out of it, all right? That looks pretty clean, right? So I think I only have one more call out in this segment, and that's when I actually ask you to like and subscribe on the video. So I'm going to click this plus sign. I already have my smash the button overlay in here, right out on top. Make sure I get that lined up right. Into this thing, guys. If you're excited about this content, go ahead and smash that like button. Certainly subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and be sure to drop me some comments down below along the way. I love your comments. That's perfect. Okay, so now we're going to move into the different segments of my video. So now that I got through this end part where I say basically let's get started and get to my video editor. Okay, basically what I've done at this point is I just recorded a brief segment of my own screen showing you where to go to look at the website and download the video editor for yourself. So I'm going to go into add files, and this is where I'm going to have segment number 2. And this is a pre-recorded video that I already have ready to go, which is basically me going to the website to show you where you need to download this thing. And then you can see with the audio bar, I had a little bit of trouble with the audio getting started before I got in a real rhythm of it. So let me go and look and see what this looks like. Get this awesome technology, you're going to want to go to jcvideoeditor.com. And that's going to take you to Movavi. If you are a Windows user, you can come in here and download right, and then it's going to take you to Movavi. So I'm going to start right there. I'm going to clip that segment. So we got a good starting point. This for free. To get this awesome technology, you're going to want to go to jcvideoeditor.com. Perfect. I'm going to clip right there. Take that segment out. Editor.com. If you are a Windows user, so this is another thing that you can do that's cool, is if you're going between scene transitions, you can cut out gaps in space and not have to make your audience sit and wait for website load time. So if you're trying to load a website and it takes 5 seconds or whatever, you can clip that down so it looks like your website is working immediately. Just kind of fun, quick way to add those transitions in here. Now, as I go from this piece to the website segment, I do want to add a transition in there. So I'm going to go back to transitions. And again, I'm just going to do a nice little crossfade. Double click. I'm going to set that at 1 second because that's what I do for all of those. That's what this will look like. Video editor, okay? To get this awesome technology, you're going to want to go to Very clean, right? Now we're at already our next segment, which is segment 3. So the next several segments are me actually editing and doing what I'm showing you editing and doing. So give me a minute. I'm going to go through and clean those all up, and I'll be right back with you to show what that completed video looks like and give you a couple of the remaining tips that are awesome for the beginning and the end of your video. I'll be right back with you. All right, guys, I've got all my segments inputted and edited down right up to the very end where I'm saying goodbye. So I just want to show you a couple last things in here just to really put some finishing touches on your video. So when I get to the end of my video, the last thing I do here at the end is I go to upload a new file. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add my outro video that I have pre-created. So this is the pre-created outro video that I put at the end of all my videos. I just drop that out there, and I'm gonna throw an easy scene transition in there. Again, I'm gonna double click on that, change that to 1 second so it's a nice clean transition. This is what this will look like. And I'll see you next time, all right? See you guys later. And then it goes right into my scene transition. Now I found that my outro tends to be a little bit loud, so if you ever put an audio file in here that tends to be a little bit loud, or music tends to be a little bit loud, you can just grab this audio bar here down at the bottom and you can just slide it down. So I actually pull my intro audio down to 43%, and that makes it sound really balanced and really clean and not be too loud. And then that is my outro video, which goes all the way to the end with my contact information. Then what I usually do here at the end as well is I end the video with my thumbnail. I just like that to be the last thing on screen. So I usually drop this out and I change it to 10 seconds. So at the very end of the video, my thumbnail will hang out for 10 seconds and then the video will be over. Now, going back to the very beginning of the video, I'm going to show you a couple last things that you can do on the front end. So again, we started with our thumbnail and we ended with our thumbnail. Now let me show you what happens as soon as I transition into the actual start of my video. So again, to remind you, I play my thumbnail for 6 seconds and then I come into me. What's up, guys? Justin Cat from... There we go, and that's where I start, all right? So this is the starting point of my actual video right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the little letters icon over here, and I'm going to click on My Titles, and then I have a Justin Kaplan Pro intro title that's pre-created. What I'm going to do is I'm going to throw this out here. So that's going to be right there at the beginning of my intro. So if you want to see where I got this, if you click on featured, you're going to see a lot of these varieties. And what I did is I just used this text with line 2, and then I just edited it to make it my own. So this is an animated action slider. So you can see what this looks like. What's up, guys? Justin Kaplan Pro here, your startup business mentor and branding strategist. I have a fun video for you today. We're going to talk about... So that's a 6-second slider that comes across, animates, shows my name and my title right off the bat, and that's pre-created. I just dropped that in there. Then the next thing that I bring in, being that I go right there into my actual title of the video, is I'm going to go back up here to text, to my titles, and I have a broadcast topic title, which I use as a template as well. And I'm going to put that right after my own professional title. Now again, this one, if you're looking for that one, if you go into text, again, you go into featured, that one is this studio version that I'm using right here, and that one is also pre-created and ready to go. So then all I have to do is click on the actual text box, and then I just change this to my actual title, which is the best. And then I'm going to go up here, change this one to video editor for YouTube channels. And I'm going to stretch that out so it fits all the way in there. And then in the red, I'm going to put in parentheses, video editing for beginners. Okay, just like that. So then what I'm going to do, because I like that dark faded background, is I'm going to go back to the shapes again, and I'm going to go back out to my yellow rectangle, which I used before, and I'm going to put this down underneath of these two titles. And then I'm going to click on the edge of it, and I'm going to drag it so it goes underneath both of those, okay? Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click on that box, and I'm going to drag this to fit out both sides because I want this to go across the entire screen. Again, I'm going to go up to color. I'm going to change it to black. And then I'm going to change the transparency to 65% so it's partially transparent. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this down to fit behind my title bar, okay? So I want to see that's going to fit well, and then this one is also going to fit well. So when I click on this text, now I can select, I'm going to hold down my control key, and I'm going to highlight all of those segments, and I'm going to drag this thing till it gets to the center. That way I want it to be nice and centered on my video. There we go. Now let me show you what this will look like. What's up, guys? Justin Kaplan Pro here, your startup business mentor and branding strategist. I have a fun video for you today. We're going to talk about video editing. I'm going to be sharing with you today what I believe is the best video editor for your YouTube channel. Now, I've used a tremendous amount of video editing technologies over the years. Super clean. So then the last thing that I do to my videos is I like to have a little bit of intro music in the very beginning as I start out my intro. So to do that, very simple, just same process again. I'm gonna do import. I've actually already added my music in here. So I have some royalty-free music that I use in all my videos. So I'm gonna click on that music and I'm gonna drag it down here to the very beginning bottom of the video, all right? and that's going to throw that audio bar out there. Now this is going to be full volume music, so I'm going to bring this volume down to 25% so the music is not overdoing my voice. And then what I do is I play this music in the beginning, which is what it sounds like. It's very subtle, but it's behind my voice. What's up, guys? Justin Cat from Pro. Okay. And then what I do is I scroll to the segment where I go from my intro into my actual content, which is going to be right here. So once I get to my music here, then I'm going to go about a second or so past my start of my content. I'm going to clip that. I'm going to cut the rest of the music out. And then when I click on that audio file, I'm going to come up here to the mixer. And then I can do a fade out, and I'm going to fade out over the course of 3 seconds. That way that music will gradually reduce down to nothing as I get into my content. All right, then that's literally it, guys. That's what I've got for you today. Hopefully you enjoyed that. If you did enjoy it, I would love for you to smash that like button. Certainly subscribe to the channel if you have not already done so, and be sure to drop me some comments down below. I'd love knowing how my content has impacted you. Certainly let me know if you have any questions, and also don't forget to check out the link in the description. I've got some free resources for you that I don't want you to miss out on. So get Movavi downloaded, get to work on editing your videos, use those free resources to dress that content up and make it really, really sharp. And then of course, if you have questions or need my help, please don't hesitate to reach out, guys. Take care. God bless. I appreciate your time and attention, and I'll see you next time. All right. See you guys later.